Hey, hello, everyone. I'm Mary Ricketts and back with Turning Point Training and Development. It is the end of July or 1st of August, depending on when you actually get to watch this. So, I want to talk about a couple of things because we are in third quarter. It is 2020. Once again, we know this year has been different than anything we have ever seen before. What I want to really talk about, I want to really come to you today with a good business coach hat on for you. And I want to talk about your July, your August, and your September. How are you going to hit the midpoint for your third quarter of 2020? It's going to be over before we know it. So let's dig in. So, the first thing I want you to really think about is what were your goals that you had set up for the third quarter of this year? So, when we met before at the end of June, it was kind of, what are you going to do for third quarter? This is a great time to take a look at it. Let me re-emphasize a couple things. It is great to have your goals. It is great to have your business plan. It is great to have the to-do list ready. But if you don't execute and execute daily, you are really going to have a hard time hitting your goals and reaching your the challenges that you even set for yourself or for your team. So it is all about daily execution. So let's dig in. What do you still want to achieve by the end of third quarter this year? What's on that to-do list? What is it for the organization, for your department, for your team, for your business? What is it that you want to have accomplished by the end of this quarter? So you might as well just say August is tomorrow. We're already in August. Today is actually July 30th. Not a big deal because August is in 2 days. So we want to make sure that we're ready and prepared. If you haven't laid it out yet, or if you can take a look at where July ended, what adjustments do you need to make so that the end of third quarter is successful for you and your department and your team and your organization? Here's the next thing I want you to look at this. If you could change one thing, what would that thing be? What would the one thing be that you could change that you know is going to have a great impact on this quarter for you? And here's the thing, I just don't want you to think about it. I want you to write it down because here are the next questions. What were three biggest wins for you in this month? So, this is the month of July. So, I want you to think about what were your three biggest wins in the month of July and write them down. And then next, what are your three biggest challenges from this month? We're not even going to go back to the beginning of the year, just this month. What were your three biggest challenges? Write them out. And the next thing I want you to think about, what were the three lessons that you learned? The three biggest things that you learned in the month of July. These are the things you want to do. You want to write them out. You want to pen them up. You want to put them in your planner. And my planner is actually sitting over here on my desk. But I want you to really think about, even in your planner, what are you planning for not just yourself, but your team? What are their daily activities? What do they need to execute on daily so that either you can make up for lost ground in July, or if you're ahead of the game, how do you stay ahead of the game? Especially when it comes to your strategies and your targets that you have for the company. How are you going to end this month? What adjustments do you and your team need to make to get ready for August and have a strong September and close out your third quarter strong? Here's the next thing I want you to think about. And I love this question. And it is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about the remainder of the year? So think about that. And don't forget to ask your team that as well. How do you guys feel we're doing as a company? How excited are you about the rest of the year? We still have a lot of ground to cover. As a good friend of mine, Linda Notberg Endicott, loves it to remind me, you've got a lot of runway in front of you. This is not over. We are just wrapping up mid-year. We are into the beginning of third quarter. We're getting ready to hit August. We have a lot of runway in front of us. We have a lot that we can still accomplish and close out third quarter really strong. All right, I want to shift gears just a little bit, and I want to talk about business tolerations. Business tolerations are often, kind of an uncomfortable conversation when it comes to speaking with clients, because these are the things we want to talk about. What are you putting up with? What are you putting up with in your business that can kind of pile up on you, that can drag you down, that can really make things feeling overwhelmed for you and the team. What are those things? Because those are the things that can really clutter your mind, and it can clutter the business. So what are some of the things that you're tolerating? Let me share with you the worksheet that I use for my clients. And no, I do not share this for free, but you're going to see it on Facebook Live. So here's really what I want you to do. I want you to really think about all those things that are really kind of hindering, that are frustrating the business. It can be things that are being incomplete, and that could be you and your team. What are those incomplete tasks? What are the frustrating things that are going on? Poor processes, procedures that aren't well documented, the things that are just like bogging you down in the organizations. And I want you to really list them out. I know on here I have a list, probably about 30, about 34 on the list that my clients can write out. I hope you don't have that many, but if you do, write them out, because these are the little things that can really hinder us from taking our organizations to the next step and to the next level, and reaching and exceeding the goals and the targets for third quarter. And there's nothing wrong with doing this quarterly. Okay, we finished off a quarter strong. What's next? What are those little things that are challenging and hindering us? And here's another thing. It can be anything. It could be things that are going on in our personal lives that are impacting the business. Okay. So we have to think about those. What are the things at home that are bothering me, that are impacting me in the office and at work? And that can be anything. Overdue bills, invoices, outdated designs, crossing boundaries, unmet needs. There's a long list that we could talk about, but I want you to really take a moment and think about, what are the business tolerations? What are you putting up with that is really having a hindrance, or it's bogging you down? It's really becoming cluttered in the business. And oftentimes it's cluttering the mind, and I'm not focusing on what I need to do for my business and for my team and my organization. Here is another thing that I want us to take a look at really quick. And this is where we we get to have a little bit of uncomfortable conversations. And this is about, how are you spending your time? So I want to talk about exposing your time wasters. There is a challenge that you can do, and it's not, well, that's a lie. It is tedious. It can be a very tedious challenge, but it is worth it. And it's worth it for you to do for yourself. This is not something that you need to share, with the team or anyone else. This is really for you. And this is where you can do what we call expose your hidden time wasters. This is where you look at Monday through Sunday, or Sunday to Saturday, whatever day it is. Take it out, start right now, take it out for the week. And what you really want to do, you are going to track how you're spending your time. And literally, you really want to track this in like 15-minute or 30-minute increments, because you really need to get a handle on how you're spending your day. So if we look at, what got accomplished this month, in the month of July, what do I need to fix? And sometimes it's hard to figure out what I need to fix and adjust if I'm not realistic and honest about, where am I spending my time. So I'm gonna give you some highlights on it, then I'll give you a quick glimpse of what the document is that I use for some of my clients. So you want to take a look at your activities. The first, your sleep. And then you want to think about, what is your morning and your evening routine? Your morning time, your nighttime, anything special that you're really doing. And here's where we have to be careful, especially if we are working from home. What time am I getting up in the morning? Am I taking a nap in the middle of the day? I love to nap. Please know that if I'm really dog tired, I believe in napping. And I know in some countries, there is a nap time and nap room available for employees. There's nothing wrong with grabbing a power nap, where we have to be careful sometimes if that nap is turned into just going to bed early. The other thing I want you to think about is your work time. So you want to think about, how much time are you commuting and traveling to work? When you get to work, how much time do you really sit there and prep and think, about what you need to accomplish in the day? How much time are you spending on email and correspondence and voicemail? How much time are you working on real projects, networking, all of the Zoom meetings that we have going on right now? You really want to calendar that. And like I said, this is what you really want to do for you. I'm not telling you need to do this and turn this into anyone else. The other thing category that we hit on are life necessities. Okay, this is simple. This is, I'm getting home. How much time am I taking to cook and prepare food? How much time am I really spending eating, your grocery shopping, your errands, you're paying your bills, chores and laundry, all of that stuff. This is where it really gets important, because if I'm spending a lot of time in one area and I really need to shift things into another, this is what you need to think about. And then your fun time, how much time are you spending on self-care with your friends, going to movies, reading your books, your hobbies, your activities, your faith-based activities, social media, and anything that you're doing. I want you to spend a little time, jot it down. I do have a form that I will use in my coaching practice that I really enjoy, but you really want to start thinking about. I'm going to give you, for instance, so when my children were younger and they were at childcare, I love to talk. I love to communicate. I love to check in on people, but I really had to catch myself, because picking up the kids, something that should have taken, 3 to 5 minutes, was taking 15 to 20, because I liked having conversations. Um, but I realized I was wasting a little bit of time. There's nothing wrong with, a little self-care time and you want to binge watch, but you have to be careful. How often are you binge watching? Um, or can you watch one movie and do something while you're watching the movie? And I know we don't want to multitask all the time, but there are some things that you really need to get a handle on. If when you record how you spend your time every day, and then you're going to total up, what you've completed, you got to be careful that you didn't, miscalculate. There's only 24 hours in a day. Does it add up to more or less than 24 hours? That's really what you have to think about. And then at the end of the week, you're going to calculate your totals for each area that you're spending your time. And then take a look and see what you notice. When could you spend less time? And then when would you like to spend more time? This is how you can really identify your time wasters. I'm going to share with you. Here's a quick picture of the document that I use with some of my clients, not everyone, because everyone doesn't need to have this, but I want you to really think about, how are you spending your time throughout the day? Okay. Am I sleeping too much? Am I watching too much TV? What can I do to maybe take care of things in a different manner and not waste so much time? One of the best things I have seen, especially since we've been in the pandemic and with quarantine and so forth, is online ordering. Online ordering as much as I possibly can. And I love curbside pickup. But when you really think about it, it can really save you a lot of time. And it can save you money at the same time, because you're not going to overspend as much as if you go into the stores. But there's nothing wrong with online ordering, curbside pickup, and then even then, what can you do to combine that time? If I have a long commute, is that when I can listen to an audiobook? What else can I do to make sure I'm being the mastermind of my day, and mastering the day and mastering your time as well? So let me wrap us up with this, because I want to make sure you connect with us. Connect with us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us here, of course, on Facebook. Check us out on our LinkedIn page at Turning Point Training and Development. And then we are also on Instagram at TPT Center. You can find us everywhere. We have a Twitter account as well, but most of all, get on our website, take a look at everything that we have coming up, the programs that we're offering. And to those of you that are like, what, we still want to do corporate training, we're not quite sure what the options are, email us, give us a call. We have so many options available for corporate training virtually, as well as if you're still comfortable with having someone come to your facility. Don't miss out. For those of you who think you're ready for a coaching challenge, give us a call. Our local number here in the Kansas City area is 913-228-2250. We look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.